So this question is from control and coordination. Match question. Schwann cells, they secrete myelin sheath. A is 3. A3 is in option number 3 only. So we have the answer with us. Yes, this is the answer. B is synaptic knob. It secretes neurotransmitter, correct. C, bipolar neuron retina, and multipolar cortex. Yes. So option 1 is the answer. Mark it on the OMR sheet. And you're done with this question in 30 seconds. So let's try to understand all of these. First one, Schwann cells. They secrete myelin sheath. What is myelin? Myelin is something which will act as an insulator. Okay. So if this is the neuron and this is the axon of neuron. Okay. So see, you have studied two types of neurons, myelinated and non-myelinated or unmyelinated. So both of them have Schwann cells in their axons. So Schwann cells will be present in both of these neurons, but in only this case, in myelinated nerve fibers, they will produce thick myelin sheath. So this myelin sheath will act like an insulator. Okay, so this thick thing, brick-like thing, this is the myelin coat. In this case, you will have only Schwann cells, thin Schwann cells, without the myelin sheath, like this. Okay, so this is unmyelinated neurons, and this is myelinated. So only Schwann cells are present here, and here Schwann cells with myelin coat is present. And this region where the myelin sheath is not present is called node of Ranvier. So the electric impulse, it moves from one node to the other node. And this is the reason why the nerve signal is transmitted quickly in myelinated compared to non-myelinated, unmyelinated neurons. So remember one thing, Schwann cells are present in both the cases, but they produce myelin sheath only in this case, in myelinated neurons. Then next one, synaptic knob. So at the axon, if this is the neuron, so now I will draw a horizontal one. So this is the axon. And then at this end, there are axonal end have the knobs. So if you focus on this part, if this is the membrane, the neurotransmitter will be present in vesicles. So when there is action potential, when action potential reaches at the end, axonal end, that time these vesicles will undergo exocytosis. So that means the vesicle will fuse with the membrane, and this is how they will release. It will look something like this. So now it will release the neurotransmitter in the synapse. So synaptic knob has the vesicles which store the neurotransmitter, and when action potential reaches the synaptic knob, it will cause release of the neurotransmitter. That is why this is a match. Synaptic knob and neurotransmitter, this is a match. And one important thing which you should know is, over here in the nerve impulse transmission, which ions are important? Sodium and potassium. They are important to maintain the polarized state of the membrane. And if they ask you which ion is important in the neurotransmitter release, okay, then you will have to say it is the calcium ion. So calcium ion is important for the exocytosis. So if there is any depletion, then the nerve function will be affected. So see, you have to take care of your calcium intake. Calcium we generally think is important for bone health, but it is also important for nerve conduction, because ultimately why the signal is going, because we can connect to the downstream neuron, okay, the postsynaptic neuron. If the exocytosis will not happen because of lack of calcium, then the whole point of sending the nerve signal will be of no use. So calcium is important here. And another place where calcium is important is in the muscle contraction. So troponin and tropomyosin and myosin and actin, that sliding filament, the whole thing is possible only because of calcium ions. So three important areas where calcium is important is bone health, then nerve impulse transmission or neurotransmitter release, and the sliding filament action, muscle contraction via sliding filament movement. Okay. So next one, bipolar neuron. So there is only one statement which is given in the chapter neural control and coordination. The example where bipolar neurons are seen. It is retina. Retina is a component of eye. So bipolar neurons are seen in eye, then ear and nose. So eye, it will detect the photons. So signals via photons. Ear, signals mediated by sound. And third one, nose. There are chemicals which have the smell signal. Smell. So see, these are unique stimuli, and for conduction or for receiving these signals, we have a dedicated neuron which are called the bipolar neurons. And in the textbook, only retina is mentioned, but they are also present in ear and nose. They are very small neurons, and they help in receiving the signal and then transmitting it down further on to the other neurons. So this is what you have to remember. Okay, another thing which why they are called bipolar, because they have one dendrite, the soma, the cell body with dendrite, and the other end has axon. So there are two poles. Now, in case of multipolar neuron, as the name suggests, you will have multiple dendrites. So the typical structure which we make all the time and which is given in the textbook also. So like this, many dendrites and then single neuron. Okay, so this is the multipolar neuron and it is seen in cortex. So this is the final answer of this question. Schwann cells, myelin sheath. So I hope you are clear with all these points. Thank you so much for watching my video.